Hello everyone and happy 22222. This is going to be a reading for the 222 gateway and for the month of February, although I may post another video around Valentine's Day if I have time. I actually really love doing these types of readings, but the thing is that there's no point doing a lot of these readings because the energy really doesn't change that quickly, and so we just kind of keep going over the same things. Although sometimes we need a little bit of a pep talk, and that's okay too. But I think the cards are very much in line with what's happening right now, and that you all are really going to like this reading. So let's jump right into it and look at the cards. The first card is the overall energy of twin flame unions right now. And it is our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. A beautiful number 11 card. This is the last card in the suite of unions that I have in this deck. And it's a beautiful image on here too. And I know that a lot of you are feeling it, this multi-dimensionality and the closeness of union. So let me step back a moment. You know, in my last video, I talked about how there's this very strong feeling of multi-dimensionality right now, and we can sense all these different timelines happening, different timelines that we have parallel to our current experience, past lives experience, future lives experiences, and the parallel timelines to that. And the effect of all of that, I think, for twins right now is there's a new feeling of closeness and connection that may have been missing, because I feel like while Venus was retrograde, and even when Venus was in her shadow, there was kind of a disconnect between twin flames. And I feel that's by design, because during the Venus retrograde, we needed to really do inner work. And I know some of you actually had some separation happening around that time, and it was very confusing to you because you may have even felt like your connection was getting stronger than ever, and yet then this separation might have come out of nowhere. Well, I feel like from our higher self's perspective, which is what this card is about, we really need to focus on the fact that this connection is not one-dimensional. It just doesn't exist here. And really, there's not much point in focusing on what is existing here. We need to really align. The last half of last year was all about those that are ready to go on the next level, really focusing on manifesting, what it means to be a master manifester, and how to get your vibration in alignment with those things. And this is the culmination of that energy, is an understanding that we exist in multiple dimensions, and that this dimension is actually the less real of all the dimensions, because this frame, this plane of existence rather, it actually holds the smallest fragment of who we are and the full potentiality of our soul. I posted a little video on TikTok earlier, actually, and the quote I started with was from Abraham Hicks, and it is, love is what I feel when I am in alignment with my whole self, or something very close to that. And we're getting there. We're getting into that alignment with our whole self, and we can't be distracted by what is happening in the 3D plane anymore. So, you know, one of the reasons I posted the video is because you might be going through separation because your higher self doesn't want you to focus on all the ego things and all the material things of this realm, but it wants you to focus on the expansiveness of knowing that this is a multidimensional connection. It doesn't just exist here, and that the focus really needs to be on the truth of that connection as it exists in all these other planes. So there is this real shift in consciousness happening that it just feels like things are so close, and there's suddenly a lot of love in the air, where during the retrograde there might have been some clearing that was coming up. Now keep in mind, this is the energy coming down from our higher selves. This is happening for both partners. And I think the feminine is really at this springboard of getting ready to manifest the next level of their life. And the divine masculine is really coming into some new conclusions about what this connection is. And that this connection is not just some kind of material connection. Maybe they might have tried to explain it away as some kind of sexual infatuation or something. But deeper and deeper, the masculine is coming into the realization that this is special. This is a highly spiritual connection, and it needs to be honored in that way. So let's see what's positive in twin flame unions. When I look into your eyes, I see the universe, and it activates me. So what this card means, and look, it's another 11 card. What this card means is that there's activations happening. My deck, this is the In2it Twin Flame Oracle that I wrote, and there's multiple layers of meanings to these cards. Obviously, this can pertain to actually looking in your twin's eyes, but when we're reading general energy like this, it just means that there's activations happening. And those activations are coming from the planets. So it's letting us know that we're being aligned. We have to do our part to clear our energy and heal things and take the steps we need to take. But a lot of the changes that we go through actually just come from the planetary energies creating shifts. And the more we release, the higher our consciousness goes, the more we feel this, the more sensitive we are to it, and the more we open to it. So I feel like there's activations happening that are aligning us with this multidimensional energy. So let's talk about what's challenging twin flame unions. I've been giving my power away to people in my life. I'm learning to set boundaries. So the challenge here is taking our power back, and there's so many levels to this. I'm not feeling so much it's about boundaries, although for some of you it will be about boundaries. For some of you it'll be that your boundaries have been too strong, especially if you're the divine masculine and or our divine masculine sides, I should say, is still struggling with letting go of being so guarded and letting ourselves be more open. But it's also about taking responsibility, and taking responsibility for what we're creating, and moving away from the energy that we've been stuck in for so long, where we're looking for union in the 3D. And that's changing. We know better now. We know that we need to look for union in that higher state of consciousness. And that's the way to align union with the here and the now. It can't be the other way around. Of course, I've written about this many times, as my guides have always said, you can't focus on the 3D and create union, or you'll be, constantly struggling. You have to look at it from a higher perspective. It has to come from the heart. And so when we're dealing with the twin flame energy, we have to let go of feeling like a victim and align with a higher perspective, this multi-dimensional perspective. So let's talk about the divine feminine. What the divine feminine is healing. I want to let my guard down with you, but fear makes me lash out in self-defense. Yeah, doesn't that go with this card? And what I talked about, sometimes our boundaries can be too high. We can be too guarded, and it's hard to let our twin in to our life because there's so much fear around it. We feel, we sense that our twin is the person that can hurt us most of all. And that is a very scary thing. And yet this twin energy is really what propels us into understanding that if we don't let our guard down, we're not letting love in. And this is what the feminine has been working on and what is happening for us now. I say us because it's really for all of us, as I've always said. We are both people. So letting down the guard and opening ourselves up. And that comes from trusting the universe and trusting the multi-dimensional energy of this connection. So how is this going to show up in our life? We are one. Don't let fear get in the way of this truth. So I think I started off this video talking a little bit about separation. And so regardless of what stage you're in with your twin, we have to understand we are one, and we have to step out of the fear. Every time we go into a fearful place because of the separation, we're slowing down our vibration because we're falling back into the trap of believing the 3D reality over what our higher consciousness knows. And when we know this, when we know that we are one, we can step out of the fear. We can let our guard down. Because in that sense of oneness, there's a letting go of always being afraid of being hurt. Interesting so far, guys. 1s and 7s, 11, 11, 7, and 7, 1. I do have a post somewhere on my website and Facebook about 7s and 1s and how 7 and 1s are a union number. So how is this healing transforming our energy? So the first card that I got was I know I need to release attachment with karmic people. I'm creating a plan to leave him or her. And I wanted clarification on this, so I pulled a second card. I got another karmic ties card, and actually it's the 11 card. I'm accessing past life wisdom. It's helping me understand things with a new perspective. So if I take these two cards together, what we can see is that there's definitely a release of karma that's happening within our energetic field. And I talked about that in my last astrology video about the 222 gateway. And we're letting go of a lot of these karmic ideas, programs, people, all of these things that keep dragging us back into the 3D. There's a shedding of this. And instead of the negative energy, we're getting that past life benefit of higher understanding of things. Now, for some of you that are still in a karmic relationship, you may actually be creating a plan to leave that person. Okay, well, a message that I'm just getting is that how this is transforming our energy is we're releasing the ego attachment to the connection. Yes, some of you might still be in a karmic relationship and you might be making a plan to leave that person. That's true. That could be happening on the 3D. But for a lot of you, or for those of you that are not entangled in a karmic connection, you can feel it in the energy. When we are in this multidimensional place and we trust the universe, we do not need all this ego attachment to the physical person and to having that physical person, make us feel good all the time. We're learning to feel good within ourselves and not dependent on the other person. This is exactly what we need to do in order to manifest the next stage of our life and our development. And you see in this card, he's at peace, he's meditating, because when we release the attachment to the person, we do feel more at peace. And the peace and the multidimensionality go hand in hand. I know a lot of you are feeling that, although I will say that a lot of people, especially people that resonate as the divine feminine, are having karmic partners come into their lives. In 2021 and 2022, there was a lot of karmic connections made, and I think a lot of people assumed that their karmic relationships were done, but then they started to fear because their twin wasn't coming, or just they met someone that piqued their interest. They felt that pull to that person, and a lot of those connections were about releasing karma with that person. And so as we go into this month and next, you might start to realize that that person was there to help you clear some of this karma. So take what resonates with you in your situation. Let's talk about the divine masculine and what they are healing, or that side of us. Another karmic ties card, this one the 10 card. I'm feeling controlled by people around me and I don't like it. It's pushing me to find my power again. Goes so well with that challenge, doesn't it? About giving our power away. I felt at the beginning of the year, I had a message that karmic relationships are going to take a front and center role. And, I say karmic relationships, I just don't mean relationships of a romantic nature, but all kinds of karmic relationships are going to be surfacing for our healing and to bring us to our next step. And one of the ways that's going to happen is by that feeling of powerlessness being activated. That's part of the South Node in Scorpio energy. So it feels like for the divine masculine parts of us and our partner, definitely there's this feeling of being controlled. Of course, no one can really control us. We have to let people control us. So there's some kind of projection happening there with those people, and it's being uncovered. I would say that truth is being uncovered, that it all is a projection. It's not reality. And that power has to be taken back from within ourselves. How this is showing up in their life. I long ago shut down those parts of me that wanted love, romance, and intimacy, but you make me long for those things again. So I feel like the masculine they're feeling this connection, this multidimensional connection, that this is a special relationship. And I would say their hearts are opening, yes, and they're starting to want the physical connection. And I think when the masculine reaches that place where the desire for this physical intimacy again becomes more important than their fear, that's when we're going to see them taking steps towards the feminine in the 3D reality. But I feel like this is saying that those in a karmic relationship are not happy. They're not feeling fulfilled. They know that the intimacy is not there. And they're starting to long for that. And they recognize that they could have that in a connection with you. But a lot of the divine masculine are so fearful of that. Again, I think we have to see it as this being in both of us and kind of read these cards a little bit that way, because we have this, I want to let my guard down with you. And this desire for intimacy, you can't have intimacy if you're very guarded. You have to let your guard down a little bit, and you have to let people in order to have this true love and intimacy, this kind of symbiotic connection with another person. So how will this transform the energy of the divine masculine? I can't fully be there for you as long as this other person is in my life. I know it's hard for you, but I have to go through this experience in order to heal it. So there's a big message here for masculines that are still in a karmic relationship. Again, I tend not to like to use that word karmic relationship, but it's what we all understand. I feel like the divine masculine is getting into this place of really being torn. As I said, they want this. They want this intimate connection. They feel this pull towards their partner. They want to let their guard down. And for some of them, they are letting their guard down. But for some, they still have this karmic person in their life. And they have to deal with that person. They have to make some decisions around that still. Even am feeling, for some divine masculine may fear letting their guard down so much that they may have a partner external to you that doesn't really mean that much to them, but they use that person as a little bit of a safety net. For example, some of you might be experiencing these little fragments with your twin where they're opening up more and they're being more honest about their feelings, and then they, hook up with someone, or they run back to an ex-lover, and you're kind of left going, well, what are they doing if they're having these feelings for me? Well, some of them, maybe they have a fear of commitment, or they just really fear opening up their heart. So it might make them feel safe if they have another person, because then they have an excuse why they're not committing more to you or giving you more. This also came out with that card, though. It's our second card for how it's changing the energy. I miss you. Let's both stop running away. So yeah, just like I said, this person, the divine masculine, is really starting to feel torn about what to do, because as much as they try to deny the connection to you, it's just getting stronger and stronger. And the more that you align with the love and your heart energy, the more they're going to feel that multidimensional connection themselves. So there's this struggle between running and actually moving towards their person. So let's just read some messages. These are messages from the Divine Feminine to the Divine Masculine. My inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me in the way I needed them to. I'm reacting from that wound. So, there's still some energy around being guarded and taking back power that relates to some inner child work. Please don't give up on me. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. I actually feel like this is the Divine Feminine saying to the Masculine, I know you're trying to change. I know it takes time for you to change. And I'm trying to be patient and give you the space that you need to make the changes in your life, to make these important decisions that you need to make. It amazes me when we say the same thing at the same time or finish each other's sentences. That's that multidimensional connection and the synchronicities. The more synchronicities and alignment that you sense, the more you are actually in that alignment with your higher self and with manifestation. I mean, that's really how we should see synchronicity, is it's telling us we're in alignment. And so, yeah, there is this, as part of this, it's like the energy is getting so connected, as I said. My heart is opening and guiding me back to you. I feel like that could go either way. That could be the feminine saying that. It's leading me back to you. Or it could be her saying to the Divine Masculine, you know, I know your heart is opening and leading you back to me, and that's why I don't need to worry about what's happening in the 3D. Let's see what the Divine Masculine has to say. You're projecting your own fears and limitations onto me. Go within to understand that you're seeing yourself, not me. I feel like this is the masculine saying that they're dealing with projections right now, and the things that are happening with the karmic and kind of the conflicting feelings is coming from their fears and limitations. I feel like the masculine is saying, don't blame yourself for what's going on. Like, I'm taking responsibility that I need to go through my own healing right now. Love like ours can change the world. Another number 11. That's 4 number 11s that we have. Yeah, they're feeling this. They're feeling the specialness of this connection more than ever. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours. I'm afraid I could lose myself in this relationship. So this card means that this person needs to really understand who they are. They need to understand their 5D self. They need to be connected to their higher self and feel that spiritual strength before they can come forward and actually be the partner that you need. Otherwise, the energy makes them feel like they're getting lost or they're out of control, and it makes them run away instead of coming towards you. You show up in my dreams. It helps me process buried memories. So I feel like they're saying that there's a lot of healing going on in dream time. There's a lot of activations happening in dream time. And again, that's part of the multidimensional connection. So what is coming up in the future? I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me someday and understand I was reacting in fear. So I think there has to be some forgiveness happening. That's not the right way I want to say it. There's remorse and there's regret for both people. There's sadness. And we have to take this sadness and turn it around. You know, both people feel regret and sadness at separation. And if we hold on to separation and the fear and the feeling of rejection, it blocks us from this higher, eternal connection that we share. And that's what we need to forgive and let go of. I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. I know I need to stay positive. Are you? Well, I think that pretty much goes with this reading, right? And talking about manifestation and how we do create our own reality and how we need to stay focused. And I feel like this card is coming forward to say that we're getting more aligned. Like, we're not at the epitome of this alignment. There's going to be more to come, and this feeling of alignment is going to be getting stronger. Our understanding of where we need to be energetically is getting stronger. One of us is sad or angry, and it's creating an energetic match in frequency with the other. Stay conscious of this, and if possible, try to help us elevate it. So this is a card letting you know that your energy and your twin's energy are very much in sync. And that energy can be feeding off each other. So do you want to feed negative energy or do you want to feed positive energy? If you stay positive, that can have a matching effect on the frequency of your partner. And vice versa. And I see it with people I'm working with a lot that have been on this journey quite a while, and they go into kind of a negative emotional spiral, and very often, I'm not going to say every time, but sometimes that's connected to their twin's energy and what their twin is going through, if their twin is clearing something. A lot of times if your twin is having very conflicted emotions, you're going to suddenly start feeling conflicted. If your twin is having doubts about the connection, about the realness of the connection, having doubts about the spiritual element of the connection, or if that person is trying to push you away, you might be feeling that and internalizing it as you're having doubts, you're not trusting the universe. So that's a sign for you to realign your energy no matter where that's coming from. The same thing, you know, whatever you're feeling can also be affecting your other person. So we want to keep in mind how our thoughts are creating our reality and continue to overcome our programming and negative thinking and continue to align with our higher dimensional self. So what is the blessing that we could be facing in the near future? You are my true love, my heart, and my soul. So the blessing is we are coming into this understanding, both twins, of the truth of this connection, how special it is, and how it's a connection of soul, not just of body, and it needs to be treated as such. But what can give us a little bit of a challenge going forward is I'm looking for a way out of this situation so I can be free. So moving forward, moving on the new path might be giving you a little bit of a challenge, but I feel like we're definitely going to be moving forward. We're moving on, and we feel very much strengthened and in a higher place of resolve because of this. When we're in this place where we accept the multidimensional connection, and you just accept, hey, I love this person, and no matter what I do, this love just doesn't seem to go away, so I'm going to surrender to it. When we get into that place, that is just so freeing, and it really helps us face a lot of things. There was something that I wanted to say, and I lost it as I was talking about it. This is what I wanted to say. When we accept this part of ourselves, what it means is we're no longer in resistance. We're no longer fighting ourselves. We're no longer fighting our higher self. And it allows us to align more with our heart energy. And in that, there's an ability to surrender. And that is going to propel us forward in so many ways. But as long as we keep being in fear of the connection, as long as we keep being guarded, as long as we keep trying to stay connected to people that aren't healthy for us, or play the victim because things aren't looking how we want them to in 3D, then we're sabotaging our energy in a lot of ways. So I think this reading is so beneficial to show us that we're making a lot of progress. We're riding a wave, and all we really need to do is continue to stay on that wave. So I did pull a Journey of Love card, and it was number 6, Angel of Jupiter Awakens. Beloved, within you there is magnificence, greatness, and the ability to live bolder, larger, and more exuberantly than you may have ever imagined. Awaken that keen spirit, hunger for adventure and new experience. The angel of Jupiter, the spirit of bold expansion and divine generosity, lives within you. Your spirit cannot be made small but must be free. Start now. Feel the endlessness of your own heart. What can be done today to live bigger? A smile, a yes to that offer of adventure, sharing vulnerability without fear, taking a step forward into the unknown, daring to imagine that the divine doesn't just happen to you, but happens through you, has you. Embrace the courage of your own open heart and dare to dream, beloved. The bold divine nature within you is calling you to great things. Now is your time to awaken. This oracle holds a message of guidance for you. You're being given an opportunity that can change your life. Don't hesitate to accept it. If you're acting with more assertiveness, more generosity, more playfulness, and more spiritual authority than usual, this is confirmation that this is coming from a genuine place within you. If you are experiencing some havoc in your life, or a sense that things are changing, this oracle comes as affirmation. Yes, there is change, and yes, you are outgrowing what once was, so you will be prepared to receive that which is more suited for your next stage of growth. Awaken in your arms. I'm sorry, let me start that poem over. Awaken your arms. I wait to stop time, savoring each moment for an eternity. Like an angel, you light the room, your love giving life to the love I've held within. Unbridled and free, our dreams unfold, and we are forever changed. Guys, if you liked this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you like my deck, the In2it Twin Flame Oracle. I will put the link below. Now, In2it Oracle has been doing a lot of work making some changes in order to make these cards more accessible and able to get to you faster. So I think very soon they're going to be ready to unleash their changes. Maybe unleash isn't the right word. They're going to be sharing the changes that they're making. And I will let you know as well. But yeah, watch for that. But the deck is currently available. There was some issues with getting the shipments to the US, and we were getting very low on stock. But I believe that that shipment is on the way or has been received. So that's about the deck. If you would like a personal reading, I am still doing readings, twin flame readings and otherwise. You can visit my website, Twinstrology, for more information. And the weight that I have on there is actually not quite as long as there actually is. There's probably like a 4 to 6 week wait for readings from me right now, but I'm doing what I can to get caught up on readings. But as you can see, if you follow me, I've also been posting a lot. So all of a sudden I've got all this inspiration and I'm being guided to do all these things. And yeah, I'm focusing on that as well and finding that new pathway for myself as you all are uncovering for yourselves as well. But yeah, I am available for all types of readings. Follow me on social media for the most up-to-date information on what I share. And I'm sending you all so much love. Happy 222 Gateway. Welcome to February. And keep manifesting, guys. Namaste.